It is time for the Eagles portion of the draft. 3 picks between 15 and 20. Danny, we'll go to you first. With 15, Ryan has them taking Utah linebacker Devin Lloyd.
Man, I tell you what, Amanda, this might be one of my favorite players in the draft. And, you know, ever since Ryan had him on here, he crept in the first round, one of the earlier ones in the college football season. I think he started at 31 in the first round. And then you started going to watch him week in, week out. And just every time you popped in a tape of Utah, he just jumped off the film. Like you would see him around the football almost all the time. As an inside linebacker, he's got a high IQ. He can cover sideline to sideline. A little bit worried about his overall size at 6'3", 235. You know, could he get overwhelmed by some teams trying to cram it down his throat? Maybe, but he's stood up pretty well against that. I think he will be able to add a couple pounds and not lose much of his speed. But I think you look at a complete football player and you find it in Devin Lloyd.
And I don't know, I was thinking this is probably a good place to just dig in a little bit on the Eagles. And when you look at, let's actually go pick by pick here. At 15, wide receiver Chris Olave.
Chris Olave gives them the pure route runner and playmaker that they need to go alongside Devontae Smith. They try to do it with Jalen Reagor. I don't know if Jalen Reagor will ever evolve and emerge as that #1 player on the perimeter. So now you get Olave, who is a big play specialist. This guy consistently puts the ball in the paint. You put him and Devontae Smith on the perimeter, you get one-on-one matchups. Someone is winning on the outside.
Yeah, to me, you have a very similar player to Devontae Smith in terms of just fluid, smooth, explosive route runners. It'd be interesting to see if they have the opportunity. They try and go with something a little different there to kind of build that basketball team, as we've said, or they want guys that have that profile that fit with Nick Sirianni to move around and play in different spots.
I like a wide receiver here at 15. Howie, don't overthink this.
All right, let's stick with the Eagles at 16. Brady, Ryan staying on the defensive side of the ball. LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this countless times. It depends on what, Derek Stingley Jr. are getting. Is it the 2019 version or what we saw the past couple of years, which last year we obviously didn't get to see much due to injury, or maybe protecting himself for that opportunity to play in the NFL. Either way, he's an extreme talent. I think as far as his upside goes, he's right up there next to Ahmad Gardner. The only difference is Ahmad played this past year. I kind of give him a little more of the benefit of the doubt. But Stingley's got all the talent and ability. Clearly, as you can see, the Eagles really going after defensive players. That's the side of the football need to revamp and get going again to try to make another playoff run. So I like the pick, Ryan. Well done.
Okay, let's go to 16. Cornerback here. You got the Washington man here, Kyler Gordon.
Yeah, Kyler Gordon is another one. I mean, the Huskies have just been producing DB after DB, and another instinctive playmaker, another guy that has a very deep and vast toolbox, which allows him to play in a variety of different ways. He's very scheme-friendly. And when I think about the Eagles being a team that wants to play a lot of zone, you have to have guys who have great eyes. Kyler Gordon has terrific eyes and terrific technique.
Yeah, I thought he was going to run in the high 4.3s, everything that you heard coming out of the school. He ended up running in the low 4.5s, which was kind of surprising. Still fast enough. You see enough on the tape to get excited about him. Got a lot of action because people were trying to stay away from Trent McDuffie, made a lot of plays on the football.
Mm-hmm. And even if Steven Nelson comes back, this is a guy that they need. This is a position that they need to address.
All right, let's go back to the Eagles. Either they're drinking their Yingling, celebrating, or they've been yelling on social media. They're now back at 19. We're going to move to the other side of the ball. Ryan has them taking Alabama wide receiver who did deal with the injury, Jamison Williams. Brady, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think they might as well take their wide receiver group and try to qualify them for the Olympics. I mean, that's a lot of speed when you look at Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, who I know hasn't panned out the way they thought he would, still blessed with a ton of speed and ability, and Quez Watkins. You add Jamison Williams to this group, I mean, the sky's the limit. It just comes down to really Jalen Hurts and whether or not he can deliver and continue to evolve as a quarterback playing from the pocket. But don't forget either, Nick Sirianni really came along as a wide receiver coach before, elevating himself up to eventually a head coaching position. So could make a lot of sense from that standpoint. You address the defense with your first 2 picks in Devin Lloyd and then Derek Stingley. Now you've got a big-time playmaker, and it's all about big plays. So wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do this. If they feel confident he'll be able to come back and be the same player we saw before the ACL tear.
At 19, you go replacement for Jason Kelce, the center out of Iowa.
Oh, Tyler Lindenbaum, because Jason Kelce said this is the swan song, this is it. So let's go ahead and get the insurance policy right now. technically sound at the point of attack. Not necessarily a road grader, but he's active. He can move. You see him there executing a little zone scheme. For the Philadelphia Eagles, this is a team that has always invested in the offensive line. He could be a nice fit for them right there at this pick.
Yeah, the challenge would be, I think he's going to be a center only, so this next year you just have to use it almost as a redshirt year. You also have Landon Dickerson there too, could be an option who could slide in and play some center. So go ahead, just go ahead, Colleen, about the Eagles taking these picks.
I just want to know, is there any chance at all that Howie makes all three of these picks?
Zero.
Really?
We're breaking these picks down, and I'm sitting here going, Buck, there's no way the Eagles stick with all three of these picks.
No,
Zero chance.
Because what you always like is you like having multiple picks in the first round. They have 3 in this round. So next year, you want to make sure that you have 2, so you have all the currency, all the power to be able to move up and down the board, particularly if they end up looking for a quarterback, if it doesn't go well for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time when I was growing up daydreaming about playing quarterback at USC, okay? It wasn't going to happen. And there's no way on God's green earth that Howie Roseman is going to execute these 3 picks in this draft. I would imagine you're going to see some of these picks, maybe more than one, in acquiring next year's draft picks. I think that could be an area they go, get more capital for next year.
First of all, I'm shocked that this hasn't happened yet, that he hasn't made a deal yet. Howie Roseman loves the headlines. However, I just want to know which pick you guys think makes sense for them to trade out of. Does it even matter? I mean, 16 maybe?
I don't think there's much difference, but I mean, to me, 15, I would put 15 up for auction and say, you want to come get 15, come get it. You've got the Pittsburgh Steelers who are picking at 20, who are a quarterback team. You want to secure it, come on up for 15. I'll get a little extra sugar. The chances are 16 and 19, I'm going to like who I get there anyways.
I don't think it matters. If he gets the phone call, I think he's taking the phone call.